Hey friends, Diana here from Garden Love. Today I actually want to give you guys a tour of my citrus orchard that I'm growing. I have a few little different sections, one with the stone fruits, one with my rare hillside garden, and all the way over there I am growing a mixture of a couple things. But today we're going to focus on my citrus orchard, and I want to start with these two citrus that I have here. These were already here when we purchased the property. I have a lot to tell you about this tree. We're gonna make a whole separate video, but really quick, I want you to back up and I want to show you. If you've seen my previous videos, this tree is half of what it used to be, and that is because I took one entire limb from this. There was a huge sucker that the previous owners allowed them to grow. And when I got here, I wasn't sure which one was the sucker and which one was the fruit. I took a risk and took one huge side of this tree, and it was the right decision because as you guys can see here, finally this tree is starting to thrive. We are getting new leaves. We are getting new flowers. I don't know if you can see that. And from being patient, being diligent about figuring out what tree this is and making hard decisions that could potentially basically killed my tree, I discovered that this is it has a little bit of thorns, so let me be careful here. This looks like a eureka lemon to me. It smells delicious. I've already used it. It's very juicy. It does have the thicker skin. I'm going to save this, and at the end of the video I'll cut it open so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is my eureka lemon that's been here since I purchased the property. Put that in my little bag. Let's move on to the next one. This is navel orange. I can tell because it has a little navel in the fruit. And as you can see here, the reason why I got inspired to do this video today is because all of my citrus are covered with these amazing blooms. This tree also, I took a little bit of a risk and took some limbs that were dying, and it has bounced back amazingly. This tree is gonna double in size over the next year. Now that I took some of the limbs, I'm still having to go back and take some of these little pieces of wood and tree that's basically dying. I'm gonna come back and give it some treatment, IV organic, to protect all of this dead wood so we don't get any insects in there. But this is my Valencia orange. It's been here since I moved in. It's doubled in size because of the treatment that I've given it. We're going to get into details about a few things that you can do to help your trees bounce back. This tree was gifted to me by a coworker. I'm not sure what it is. I still haven't gotten any fruit from it because I took 2 years of taking care of my plants and I just gave it water. But this year is a year that I am going to go hands-on in doing what I can in the garden, and my husband is committed to helping me, so I'm really excited about this. So let's figure out in the next this year, we're going to figure out what fruit this is. I noticed that the previous owners had added a grapefruit. It didn't make it, and I think part of the reason is because it is dry here, friends. We live in Zone 9B and it is dry. There's no shade here. But once I added this mulch, this layer of mulch when we first moved in, things are just thriving and growing. That's one of the tips I want you guys to take from this video, is that you need to add mulch in order for your things to thrive. I decided to add a grape that I already had with me. I don't remember what kind of grape it is, but you know what? I was struggling to keep things alive, so I decided, hey, I'm gonna put a drip, dig a hole, put it in there, put mulch, hope for the best. Come on, guys. Let me show you this one other tree here. This tree was here when I moved in, and let me show you. It is also a navel orange. You can tell by the little belly button. This one has a little outie belly button. It's super adorable, but oh my God, it smells amazing and it is loaded with fruit. I think this tree turns giving me a ginormous amount of fruit every other year. This year, it didn't give me a huge amount, but it sure did give me enough for me and my family. It still has fruit. We are in the beginning of spring. This tree starts giving me fruit at the end of December, and I just come and pick them as I go. Oh my God. Smells so good. But look, it is loaded. So very important. Here's another tip. At the end of this video, I want you guys to tell me how many tips I've given you. This is number 2, and I'm gonna stop counting after this. All right, here's the next tip I want to give you guys. If you guys ever see your tree full of flowers like this, and then for some reason you don't end up getting a lot of fruit, this is what you need to do. As soon as you see your trees full of flowers, you're gonna want to up your watering, because you want to make sure that this tree can sustain all of the blooms that it has. You got to keep in mind that if it's dehydrated and doesn't have enough water, it's gonna drop the last thing that it produced, which in this case is going to be the flowers. You don't want that. This is the time to up your watering. So all of these blooms, at least 50% of them, not even, because that would be just way too much, but a large majority of flowers can turn into these amazing oranges. So that's another tip I want you guys to keep in mind. This is my other navel orange. This has probably triple in size. I'm gonna go back and look at my old video so you guys can see. I'm gonna try to link them up above so you guys can see what we how small that tree was. Okay, I'm gonna stick to the citrus, and then maybe I'll come back to that amazing pomegranate, because I could talk about that pomegranate a lot. If I remember correctly, this is my satsuma tree. It has also doubled in size, and look at this. The nature of it seems to be kind of limp, so at some point I'm probably gonna have to cut some of these branches so it doesn't touch the ground. But it is absolutely loaded of flowers. Let me smell. Oh my God, I wish you guys can smell this. But yes, this, hopefully I could try the fruit since I planted it. It struggled a while. Our winters here are, okay, so let me just explain. We are in zone 9B, and I would say it's more on the harsher side living in this piece of property, just because we don't have any buildings around me. We don't have any larger trees protecting it. So the climates are going to be a little bit harsher, more wind. As you guys can see, the wind's going to just like blow this when it's windy. When it rains, it's going to come down on it. When it's hot, it's going to come down on it. There's nothing else protecting this tree. So it might take a little bit longer than usual for this tree to get established, or any trees in the citrus garden, because of the microclimate that it's in. It is in zone 9B. I used to live in zone 9B, but the microclimate was a lot easier on my trees. So things are just gonna naturally take longer to get established and to start producing and to start growing. So if you are in that condition, please don't be harsh on yourself. Please just be patient. Let's move on. All right, so let's move on to the next tree that I planted. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you know my other, let's see if I remember correctly. So this is also a navel tree. I had this in a container. It gave me fruit, not in abundance, but just enough to enjoy a nice tree that I don't get to have all the time. If you grow a fruit tree of any kind, you know that the fruit that you grow, it is extremely tasty. Well, my daughter needed to sneeze. I'm so grateful that she's helping me here record today. But let's try to continue where I left off. This is a navel orange. It used to be in a pot. It used to give me a handful of oranges. So I do have approximately 3 navel oranges. And since I know that I have a lot of the same trees, one's a dwarf, one's a semi-dwarf, I am going to switch it up. And I actually did. I'm going to show. Can you look over there really quick? That whole row is new citruses, and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna do a zigzag. I'm gonna give you guys all the trees that I have down on this first row, and we're gonna move on to the second row. But this tree is gonna give me so much fruit. I can already tell by the flowers. Thankfully, I decided to walk over here and check it out. I haven't been here in weeks, and I'm grateful that I came here and saw all these blooms, which I was like, oh my God, I have to show you guys how amazing this looks and how promising all of these blooms show for our future fruit. And I'm so excited. So yes, this is a navel. Go back to my old videos. It used to be in a pot, much smaller than it is. The fruit was amazing, so I can't wait to try it. This is a plum fruit. It's been here. I have not once tasted the fruit. This needs a major trimming, which my husband will help me do this year. Well, I'm just gonna let it be for the season and see if I even get a chance to taste one. And if I do, that would be amazing. If I don't, I'm just going to trim it down to almost the trunk. potentially considering to remove this because I want this to be my citrus orchard, and I want to add another citrus here. But let's continue on this row so we can move on to the new additions that I've added on the second row, which I'm really excited about. The first row is mainly everything that I originally started in containers with. This was another one that was gifted to me. This is they didn't remember the name, but it's not a eureka lemon. It's a different kind of lemon. I believe it's kind of sweet. I haven't tasted the fruit. It almost died on me. I cut it down and it came right back up. I am a big advocate of trees that look that they're about to die. Don't give up on your trees. This is a good example to show you. I just make sure that everything that's growing is above the graft, and then anything below the graft, I would just remove it. And this is going to be an amazing tree, to be honest with you. I mean, it's going to be low enough for me to be able to reach the tree. It's going to be wide, which I needed to take up some of the space. And it's ideal, honestly, if you get a tree and you don't have a lot of space and you just want something that's going to give you fruit, and maybe you want it to cover up a fence, you can grow it as spiller. You can chop it down, and anything that grows, train it to open up and train around the against the wall and get some fruit. So yes, stay tuned so we can eventually figure out what kind of tree this is. And let's move on to the next one. This is my, oh my God, tree. Can I have this fruit here? This is my, I believe this is a Blanco grapefruit. If I am wrong and I look it up, I'm going to put it on up above so you guys know what kind. This is actually another rescue. Someone on Facebook Marketplace, when I first started growing fruit trees, said that they wanted to get rid of this tree. They asked if you can, they said that you can have it as long as you come and dig it up. Of course, I persuaded my husband to come and help me. He came and dug it up for me. We had it in a pot. It did amazing. It did went into shock, and a lot kind of went dead. I don't know if you can see. You want to get closer so you can see. Since all the leaves fell, then the trunk started to get sunburned, and it pretty much died because it was a big tree. But now anything below this is pretty much thriving and growing now, which is fine. Like I mentioned, it can be a short tree, which would actually, I like that theme I have going on. All the short trees at the bottom, the taller trees are going to be up above. These are all my original trees that I started with, so I'm really proud of them. And this is so sweet. It's so good, guys. I'm going to cut these up for you guys. I should have brought a marker to label them because I believe, I don't know which is from which navel orange, but I'll go back in the video and label them for you. Let's move on over here. This is another tree that almost died, but it's coming back. It is a lemon tree of some sort. And you know what, maybe it was a little foolish of me to add trees that aren't going to, I don't know exactly what they are, but you know what, everybody starts somewhere, and this is just a sample of my beginnings, and I'm excited. It's okay. It's gonna look beautiful. It's already thriving and bouncing back. So stay tuned for future videos so we can find fruit and we can cut it open, and I can give you guys a fruit tasting video, which I'll probably show you guys what this looks like, and I'll give you a description of how well it tastes. I love this fruit. It's so good. It's so tasty. It's sweet. It's almost like half orange, half grapefruit. You don't even need to add salt or anything to make it taste good. But let's move on into the second layer that my husband has added for me. I got so lucky. Last year when Costco was basically at the end of the season. They were like, all fruit trees are $25, and you know they were normally $59. I filled up my cart, and I had enough to fill up this road. So let me show you guys this. These were planted last year. This is a mandarin page. I want to know if any of you guys have grown any of the trees that I have here. I want you guys to give me one of the highlights of your tree and one of the cons of your tree. So hopefully next year we can add, well, at the end of this year we can add another row if I can get a good sale, because as you guys know, if you guys have been shopping, The fruit trees are so expensive. It's out of control, friends. It's out of control. So yeah, it's a pretty investment. I think it's worth it, but I'm not buying any trees unless it's something that I've been wanting for a long time, and I'm just gonna stick to the sales of things that are good. Like for example, this is a grapefruit flame. So it's another grapefruit. I'm excited about having a grapefruit collection because grapefruits are lower in calories, but they're so tasty. There's different, like this is so sweet. I can't wait to try this grapefruit flame. Once again, these are flavors that I personally haven't ever tried, and that's what I love about growing your fruit trees at home, because you're going to have access to varieties that you normally wouldn't have in the store, and that's what makes it so special. Also, you're going to harvest when everything's ripe, not before the time, because you know when we get our fruit from the market, they harvest way in advance, and by the time you get it, it's like it's not that sweet. It's a little disappointing. After tasting your own fruit, you're gonna be disappointed when you get something from the store. In certain occasions, you'll get a fruit that's really on point and worth paying for. In those cases, you might end up paying a little bit more, but it might be worth it. Another thing, you know that what you're growing is organic. You're not spraying it with anything, and you know you're fertilizing with whatever fertilizer you're choosing is. This is going to be another grapefruit, but this is an Oro Blanco. And it is thriving, friends. But I gotta say one thing about this planting that I know, that I notice, and I'm going to implement to all my trees, because this tree didn't even skip a beat when I planted it, and I feel is because I originally had dug my husband, but you guys know what I mean, had dug up a hole here, and then I wanted to give it a little bit more spacing, so I said, can you just dig another hole just a few inches that way? So it left a hole right behind it, which I love, because when the rain comes or watering, it comes down into the first reservoir of space here, of water, I'm gonna say. And what is that gonna do? That's gonna go down into the soil and eventually hit the roots, because gravity, right? Gravity will take the water down, and this fruit tree is gonna benefit from it. So I am going to implement the same thing. I'm going to add a hole above every single tree, especially because we're on a hillside, and when it rains, water is gonna go down. It's not gonna actually puddle where the tree is, and that's what I want. I want rainwater to puddle and go and seep down into the soil so it can reach my amazing tree. So that is something that I learned through this process, and I hope this tip helps you for any future planting that you want to do, especially if you're on a slope. This tree didn't skip a beat, and I am so happy that this little tree and this experience taught me this technique I'm going to be implementing in all my fruit trees. Guys, this tree, oh my god, I have a terrible memory. I cannot remember what this is. I know that it's some sort of lemon, and it was a rare lemon. It's not what I have. I'm going to look it up and put it up above. Oh, hold on. This is a Lisbon lemon. So this has been struggling, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. This needs to have another hole above, and when I can get my husband out here to help me out, this needs major help. But it's surviving. None of the branches are dead. They're still alive, but it needs more water. I know that. I can tell by what it's doing. You can see that the leaves are curled up. They're dehydrated. So this needs help. I'm gonna figure out how to get a hole out here, and I'm definitely, since everything's blooming like I mentioned, it needs water desperately, because I want all these flowers to eventually turn into an orange. So since we learned a lot from that tree, we're gonna implement the same technique to that tree, and it's gonna bounce back. I'm not stressed over it. I just know that the tree is going to be okay. Here's another tree. This tree, oh my god, took a beating. Something kept eating the leaves. It was down to just a few little branches, and it's bouncing back. Look at that. Let me see. This is a grapefruit star ruby. So this is another grapefruit I'm so excited about, because like I said, I have a collection going here. I even put this caged up to try to prevent, I was thinking it was bunnies. I don't know, maybe a squirrel, but I put this up, and so far it's doing okay, and hopefully it's gonna bounce back. I mean, I know it is. So let's move on. For some reason this tree has been struggling, and there's this one and that other one are struggling, and those two are more like a standard tree. So I don't know if something about standard trees that have the taller trunk, that they're just not liking this soil. I'm not sure, but I'm also going to implement the same technique. Let me tell you what this is. This is a Clemente mandarin. So I was really excited for my daughter Lily to try that fruit, so she can have little cuties to go to school and share. She loves taking little fruit snacks from the house and sharing it with her friends. Like, this tree doesn't look like much, but it's a little miniature dwarf tree, and this is a real red grapefruit, pomelo. So that's another grapefruit. So I guess this row is gonna be more of grapefruit and lemon trees, with a few exceptions of the Clemente mandarin. And yeah, so let's move on. As you guys can see, I've added a few things. I'm so excited. You know, it's just gonna take time for me to get that fruit. They always say that the best time to plant a tree was yesterday and a couple years ago, but the next best time to plant a tree is now and today. And that is just the motto that I am living by, and I'm just trying my best every single day. This pomegranate tree was here when I purchased this property. And oh my goodness, the first year it didn't give us any fruit. The second year it was loaded with fruit, and the third and the fourth, it's been loaded ever since I added mulch and fertilizer. However, all the fruit I never get to try because we are infested with squirrels, underground squirrels. If you guys have any tips for that, because I've almost tried everything except poison, let me know, because I have not tried any of the fruit here. And this is why I decided to make this my citrus orchard, because they don't go for the oranges for the most part. They go more for the fruits like apples and pears and peaches and pomegranates. So if I could physically move this tree somewhere else, I would, because it gives so much fruit, and the fruit, you know what, it doesn't even get to be so big because the fruit's gone before. As soon as it's ready to be eaten, those squirrels know it and they get to it. But it has a significant size on it. It has a lot of blooms that are coming up, and I know they're going to continue to get more. I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to put a trap or protect this tree from the squirrels. But for now, that's the story with my pomegranate tree. It's been doing great. I mean, look at it. The beginning of April, and it's growing. I did start the third row of my grapefruit even before I finished the first one, and I put one of my trees that I had in a container up here, because this tree tends to get pretty large and it produces a lot of fruit. It's a warrior, like it can be in not the best ideal conditions. This is, I don't know, the fourth year, and it's finally taking off. I can see that I'm going to try to lemon from this tree. And this is the pink lemonade. This is the pink lemonade. This is a fruit that has variegated. It has like some stripes of green and yellow. The leaves are also variegated. The flowers are amazing, and it's a really nice tree that you want to have that's kind of unique. Like, you will not find these lemons in the store. They call it pink lemonade because the inside of the lemon is actually pink, and it has stripes on the outside. And yes, I air layer one of these trees from my neighbor, and I still have that tree. But this is, I had to purchase it because I'm like, it's a must-have. I need to have this in my citrus collection. And since it's not that delicate, I decided to put it here. I do have a citrus collection that's a little bit more delicate. That's on my hillside. I'll do a separate tour on that because I don't want these videos to be too long. There's only so much that people want to be on their phone for. So yes, this is my pink lemonade. I am so excited. This is the beginning of my third row of my citrus. We're going to have to grade this, remove some of the stuff going down, add another water line, and start growing some more citrus. So I want to conclude this video with cutting some of this fruit inside. I'm going to take you guys inside so you guys can see what this fruit tastes like, what it looks like, and I want to hear the comments on what trees do you have that I mentioned today. What did you learn from them? Do you like the taste or you don't? And what do you guys want to see more of? Because that's what I'm struggling with. I want to show you guys what you guys want to see. I will show you my stone fruit orchard, my hillside collection and garden that I have going on there pretty soon. But let's go into the kitchen and cut these up. Last bonus tip, I want you to go look at all your trees, and if you see any of these suckers coming out from below, remove them. You don't want your trees to you don't want these suckers to take energy from your tree, and you absolutely don't want any branches that low. All right, friends, we made it back from the orchard, our citrus orchard. We picked up a few fruit and we're going to cut it open right now and taste them. This is my grapefruit. This is, I believe, is a Blanco grapefruit. I remember the story. I picked it from someone's house, so we don't know exactly, but I gotta say I'm happy I did because I love the flavor you guys are about to see. This was from my more mature navel orange tree, and this was from my younger navel orange tree that I used to have in a fruit in a container in my backyard little orchard before this property. So we're gonna cut that open, and this is my eureka lemon that I finally was able to get fruit out of the tree from making those changes. Let's cut them open. Friends, the first thing I want to show you guys is the lemon, because although it doesn't look juicy, last time I was like, oh, it's not going to be juicy. Look at that. It is juicy. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is juicy. Okay, this is, oh yeah, true lemon. This is definitely a eureka lemon. Now let's look at the navel orange from the more mature tree, the tree that was already here. Oof. Honestly, since I moved in here into this property and I tasted this fruit, fell in love with it. Fell in love with it. This doesn't look as blush as this one, so I'm curious to know what the taste is like. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And this, guarantee, the fruit is amazing. The only thing about this fruit, this grapefruit, is that it has a lot of seeds. So if you don't like seeds, you might not like this fruit, but it tastes amazing. This is like a blend of orange and lemon put together without the sourness. All right, well, Lily's here. We're gonna do a tasting video with you guys. This is the bonus for this video. I love this. Which one do you want to try first out of all of these? So we can cut them up. Let's go with the less expectation higher. Okay, so this one looks so sweet. I mean, because of the color. So let's try this one first. This is not as red. Here you go. Tell me what you think.
I like this part.
Oh.
That was good.
It's good. It's really good.
Is this the older tree or the younger tree?
This is the tree I used to have in a container. So it's more younger than this one. Wow. That's really good. Really sweet. I can't rate it yet because I need to compare it to something. But trust me, if I bought that from the store, I wouldn't be, what's the word? I would be satisfied. I would be very satisfied. All right. Ready for the next one? Okay. Oh.
It's like a little bit of seeds in it.
Has a little bit of seeds, yeah. Ready?
Me too. Oh, I like this one. It's like really sweet.
Yeah, this is sweeter, like lollipop sweet. This was sweet, but it was more like, it had like a tart taste to it. It wasn't like candy. This is more like candy, isn't it?
I like it.
I love it. Yeah, this tree has not disappointed me. Since we purchased this property and this tree started giving us orange, it has not disappointed me. Every single orange is so delicious. Okay. Let's take the sweetness away. This is a lemon. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but tell me what you taste from that.
If I make lemonade.
Yeah, it's very sour though. So it's juicy, but you can definitely feel the grains.
I just like to look at it. I don't like to bite it.
This would taste good with salt. Okay, moving on, because that's a lemon. I mean,
It's sour.
now let's do the grapefruit. I'm gonna cut them in smaller because the size of it is much bigger.
This piece.
You want that piece?
I'm gonna take out some of the seeds.
Yeah, this has seeds.
Yeah. One's cleaned out.
Tell me what you think. It's very juicy, like my hands are dripping. Ready?
This one's like juicy and soft.
Yeah.
It's like very easy to bite into.
It's sweet. Definitely not as sweet as the orange, but it's definitely sweet. Like, it's not sour at all. Yeah. I'm satisfied with all of them.
I like all of them. I like the orange.
Yeah, this orange was so good. But what I'm happy with is the fact that I'm not tasting a fruit and I'm like, oh, I would not eat that fruit. And then that's discouraging because then I have a tree that I would not want to taste or have the fruit or give the fruit away because it doesn't have good flavor. So far, all of this has amazing flavor. Some of them are sweeter than the other ones. Some have more like a tart taste to it. And the lemon, I mean, it's a lemon, so you're gonna cook with it. The texture, I can tell that the tree's still recovering. It needs a little bit of water. It is juicy, but I can feel like the citrus grains. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure if I give it better watering, it will be a lot juicier. Let's see how much juice I can get out of this. Come closer so you guys can see.
Have this other piece.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of juice.
Have this piece.
Yeah. Did you like the grapefruit?
It was very good.
Does it taste like a grapefruit?
Yeah.
Like, is it sour?
No.
It's not?
No. It's like very like soft.
Yeah, it didn't taste sour to me either.
This grapefruits. Sour.
Honestly, not that I would trick a little kid, but if you tell a little kid, here, have an orange, I don't think they would second guess that it's not an orange, because you would think this is an orange, it's not as sweet as usual. And this one is so juicy, like I take one bite and it all comes out.
It's very soft.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to making more. I'm going to be doing some more tours of what the garden looks like now versus what it looks like at the end of the season. And I know there's a lot of things that you guys haven't seen in a while. And you guys are going to be surprised on how much it has grown. And I'm looking forward to making those videos. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.